What's up, everybody? This is Venthros here, coming at you with the first of what will be many tutorials that will cover different aspects of RPG Maker VX Ace. Chances are, if you found this video, you were looking for some kind of resource on VX Ace, and this series of tutorials is designed to follow a crawl, walk, run pattern. The first couple tutorials are going to be the basics. The ins and outs of just kind of the more basic functions, and as I put up more and more tutorials, they're going to get more and more in depth. So hopefully, if you follow all of my tutorials, you'll go from a relative newbie at VX Ace to being able to do advanced scripting, being able to change just about any facet of the game that you're looking for. So let me get right into it. As you can see on the screen here, I have a new project open. I saved it as tutorial project. If you want to follow along, just start a new project. This is the screen that you should see. You see a dude here and a bunch of water. This dude here, just get used to some of the terminology if you're new to VX Ace or RPG Maker in general. If you're not so new, it's okay. I mean, stick around, but this is really designed. I am assuming that the viewer doesn't know a whole lot about any of this stuff, so I'm going to do my best to kind of go through everything as detailed as possible. But at the same time, I want to keep the videos at a viewable length. So this guy right here is known as an actor. We'll get more into actors in future videos. And right now he's stuck in some water. And we're going to fix that by the time this video is through. But this area here is the current map that you're working with. You go down here to this box here. You can see where it says Tutorial Project Map 001 is the current map that we're looking at. And this is the area where you can set the properties of each map, or you can add maps. Pretty much is a crucial feature that you'll be using. Obviously, your whole game cannot take place on one map. I mean, I guess it could, but above that, you have the current tile set. You draw objects on the world using tiles, and this set of tiles right here, by default, is for drawing a world map. If you've played any other RPGs, your world map is its own kind of entity when it comes to interacting with things. So, and then up here is your toolbar, and I'll go over very quickly all the tools. We're not going to get in depth on too many of these right now. The first 7 the first 8 of these are pretty standard, and they're with just about any computer program that you might have. But you got new project here, open project, save project, pretty self-explanatory. Then you have your editing tools: cut, copy, paste, and delete. Again, pretty self-explanatory. And the 8th is undo. Like I said, all these are pretty standard for any computer program. And if you're using a Windows computer, all of these shortcuts are the same, and I'm sure if you're a Mac user, the shortcuts would be the same. I'm actually not even sure that you can use this with Mac. I'm sure you can. I don't mess around with Macs. Okay, so the next set of tools here is what you can do to the map. Right now, by default, we're in map editing mode. So anything that we do here will affect this map. So, for example, I'm going to click this. We're in map editing mode, so I can put an area of lava here in the water. Obviously, that doesn't make any sense, but I'm just showing you that we're in map editing mode. If we go over here to event editing mode, I'm not going to get into that in too much detail today, but event editing mode is where you place events on your map. So let's say we decide to put a town somewhere. You would draw an event that would allow the character, when they walk onto the town, to leave this map and go to a new map which contains your town. And so, I mean, events are a very crucial part of the game. And actually, in the next tutorial, we'll be actually doing drawing a town and creating an event that allows us to travel from the world map to the town. Region editing mode is if you've upgraded from RPG Maker VX to VX8, this replaces the area editing tool, and basically each one of these numbers can be assigned to different squares on the map, so that you can, let's say on your map you have a forest that the character can walk through. Obviously, when you're walking through a normal kind of grasslands area and you get into a fight with monsters, your background is going to be that of a grass area and you would fight certain types of enemies. But if you move into a forest, you would use the region editing tools. I'm not sure why I clicked out of here. The region editing tool to make that forest area contain forest monsters and a forest background, if you so choose. Alright, so anyway, we'll go back to map editing mode, because that's what we're going to be doing in this video. And these are the different drawing tools. Right now, by default, we have pencil, which lets you draw tiles freehand, kind of like I was doing with the lava. You know, I click a square and some lava appears. You can click and drag like this to make more, and you know, you could do that, or you can use the rectangle tool to draw a rectangular or square shaped area, and you just click and drag here like I'm doing. Obviously useful for large areas. And the ellipse will draw a circular kind of area. Pretty self-explanatory. Flood fill tool is pretty standard, just like any other photo editing software that you might have used. Even Microsoft Paint has a flood fill tool. I'm going to click on the water, and all the water is going to turn to lava. The shadow pen allows you to create shadows. It's pretty useful. We're not going to get into that until we start drawing our town. So I'll go back to pencil here, and then we'll go over the scales, the scaling. Right now, we're displaying the map in 1:1 scale. You can display the map in half scale, quarter scale, or an eighth scale. And obviously, for a map this size, 1:1 scale is fine. It's only a 17 by 13 map, but the larger your map is, you might want to edit things in half or quarter or even eighth scale. Okay, so the next area is contains your database, and I'll just open it real quickly. But as you can see, it contains pretty much has sections for your items, has sections for your actors, classes. I mean, everything that is used for the game is editable in this very handy graphical user interface. It makes it very easy to, let's say you wanted to, you know, right now troops is pretty much synonymous with mobs or groups of monsters. You know, if I wanted to, you know, we have a slime ×2 mob. If I wanted to add a hornet to that, I can add a hornet, and I can place them you know, anywhere I want to on the battle screen. We'll get more into the database in a later tutorial. Same with the resource manager. The resource manager houses all of your graphics, your music, your different tile sets, anything graphic or music or animations or all that. You can is here in the resource manager, and we'll get more into that later. Same with the script editor. For those of you that are savvy with computer programming or computer science, might be happy to know that RPG Maker VX Ace is pretty much run by a computer language called Ruby. And these scripts here on the left are all the different Ruby scripts that actually run the game as you're playing it. And if you're savvy with Ruby, then obviously this stuff is going to make sense to you, and you can figure out how to edit these scripts to make the game more to your liking. And you can add entirely new scripts if you're savvy with that sort of thing. The sound test, it lets you test all of your music and sound effects. Hit play to play the sound, stop to stop the sound. You can adjust the volume and the pitch. So I'll play the dungeon song. Pretty nice song. So if you want, you can change the pitch, which basically all it does is slow down or speed up your song. Alright, so that's that. Character generator is new to VX Ace if you're upgrading from any of the previous iterations of RPG Maker. This allows you to create characters, obviously. You can go through and change all these different hairstyles, you know, eyes, different eye types. You know, there's probably, you know, I don't know how many different combinations, but there are quite a few. You know, change the eye color, give your character some purple eyes if you want. Or you can generate random if you're just doing some random NPCs or something like that. You know, you could do that too. You can make male or female characters. So that's the character generator. And last but not least, the playtest button. It starts a playtest of the game, basically, so you can see how everything's working in the actual game itself. And I'll go ahead and click it just to show you what you're looking at. If somebody downloads your game, this is what they're going to see first, unless you change it. But by default, this is what you get. So we're going to hit new game, and this is what we see. Just like I said earlier, we got our actor here. He's stuck in the water, and he can't do anything because you can't move in water. And this is not going to make for a very fun game. So what we're going to do now is we are going to, I'm going to show you the map area here. I'm sure it has a real fancy name, but by default right now we're on map 001. You can see that it's highlighted because it's the current map. If you want, you can either hit the space bar or you can right click and click on map properties. And all this stuff over here and the parent, all this and all this, we're not going to worry about right now. So up here, the general settings, that's what we're going to look at for now. Map 001, you can leave it that if you want. I'm going to go ahead and change it to field. I'm going to leave the display name blank, but if you are making a town, or if you want the player to know the name of whatever place they're going into as they enter, you can type a name in the display name. We're going to leave that blank for now. The tile set by default is field, and that's the one we want, but you can, when you make your towns and stuff, you can make exterior, you would use the exterior tile set, or like a mountain range or something like that. Interior would be any kind of buildings or castle, shop, inn, whatever. And you would use a dungeon tile set, obviously, for your dungeons. We're going to leave it at field, because it's our world map. For now, we're going to leave it at 17 by 13. It's the smallest. As you can see, it won't let me make it any smaller. That is the smallest map that you can make. Scroll type no loop is pretty much means when you walk to the edge of the map, it won't scroll over and put you on the far left-hand side of the map. So we're going to leave it at no loop. Specify battle back. We're not going to use a battle background because we're not going to have any monsters yet. But I'll just click it so you can see. Let's say we were going to do a grassland battle. So we would hit grassland, and you got a grassy kind of area, and then you have this guy here. And the reason this is blank is by default all of the command menus and stuff for the battle actually take place here. So we're going to cancel that. We'll uncheck that. Now the background music we are going to use. Normally it's unchecked by default. We're going to pick field. You can see all the different background musics here. We'll go field and we'll test it. So that's a pretty basic sounding field. World map song. Now you can do some sound effects here. Like let's say you're going to a map where it's raining. You can do that. We're not going to have any sound effects playing. And disable dashing. We're going to check it because in the most world maps you can't dash. So we'll leave that there. Okay, so we have our map set up. Over here you can see that the map went from map 001 to field, and now we're going to start editing the map. So I'm going to make sure we're on pencil, we're on map editing mode. So we're going to draw a small little island for our actor to be on. And these tiles are, they auto tile, which means if I click here, I get 1 square of grass. If I click an adjacent square, it's going to fill both tiles with an appropriate amount of grass and border. I don't know how else to explain it. And we're going to click and drag here. You can make it any shape you want. If you want, you can use the ellipse tool or the rectangle tool. We're not going to do anything too crazy here. Just going to maybe do something like that. Okay, that'll be fine. Let me just add a little something here. Alright, so we did that. If you're following along and you want to do what I do, that's cool. On the upper right hand side here, the northeastern side of the island, I'm going to draw some trees, like a forest area. So over here you got a couple different options with trees. I lowered the screen resolution, so hopefully it's a little easier to see, but I'm going to use this tree here. It's a nice full tree. You can use a pine tree if you want. They got some dead trees and some palm trees, but yeah, just like with the grass, if I click on 1 square, I get 1 tree. Click 1 square, I get 1 tree. You click on 2 adjacent squares, it fills both squares with trees. So we're going to click and drag here and just go to town. There we go. I'm leaving a little space here because we're going to put a town in this little space. And then down here on the southwest side, I want to put some mountains. So we'll just draw some mountains here, like that. A little mountain range. There we go. Yeah, this isn't, professional map design 101. We're just, getting the hang of using the tools. So there we go. So we have a map here. We have a little island. We have some mountains here and a forest here. And if we play test this, we'll save the changes. This is what you see. We got the background music that we selected. Our character can walk through the forest. And he can't walk through the mountains. The game knows, the game has already defined what the character can walk through and what the character can't walk through. And I'm going to show you in a future tutorial how you can change. If you want to import your own custom tile sets, you can make certain things passable or not passable. Okay, so we went over the basic tools here. I showed you a little bit about the maps. Showed you about the tiles, and we drew a little bit of a map here. I think it's a good place to stop for now, but if you want, just play around with some of this stuff. I mean, you're starting a tutorial project, so, don't be afraid to mess around with it and play around with it. You can always undo something that you don't like, and, in the next tutorial, we're going to draw a town here, and we're going to create an event that will take us from this map. We're going to create a new map with our town in it, and we're going to create an event that will take our character from this map to the town and back. So I just want to thank you guys for tuning in and sticking around if you made it this far. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe under the video. And stay tuned because a lot more videos are coming. I'm Venthros. Thanks for watching.